Wink News, the Weather Authority.
Because of Hurricane Ian, homes are being lifted and others will have to be built up to meet new building codes. Meteorologists predict it's something many of us need to consider.
The reason? Climate change. Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes explains how it's impacting the intensity of the storms we see.
The last 8 years were the hottest on record. While heat is often the first thing that comes to mind with climate change, that same heat is also causing our oceans to rise as water expands and Earth's ice begins to melt. It's a process called sea level rise, and it'll play a direct role in tropical forecasting for years to come.
We're trying to communicate that don't just be dismissive of a tropical storm or hurricane as having a minor impact, because you can still have storm surge that floods homes and businesses.
John Rizzo, the warnings coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Key West, warns that just as you should never judge a book by its cover, the same rule should be applied to the tropics. And that's because sea level rise is slowly increasing the impacts of even the weakest tropical storms and hurricanes.
And once tropical storms, which were dismissed as windy days and rough water, open water, well, now they can have a storm surge to them. The water may be a foot or two higher than it was decades from now than it was a decade or two ago.
And with weaker storms having a higher potential to punch above their weight class, it's important to remember that no two storms will ever share the exact same impacts. It's something we reinforce often on Wink and can be the difference in viewers making informed or biased decisions in the face of a cyclone. The similarities between current and historic storms are never considered in the forecast process. Rather, a storm's size, speed, symmetry, and more are all carefully factored into the warnings and forecasts that you ultimately receive.
As we say with snowflakes, no two snowflakes are ever alike. Well, it's the same with tropical cyclones. No two are exactly alike, but they have the potential for much more damage than a snowflake.
And as rising sea levels continue to amplify impacts of storms, keep that snowflake analogy in mind this hurricane season. Nash Rhodes, Wink News.